1 second. There we go. All right,
How's it
what's
going, man?
going on, YouTube? This is your boy, the Dark Star Menace, and got my boy Johnny D. Yeah, I just added you. I had to run through the intro before adding you in, man.
Well, that's all right. I was having all kinds of mic problems trying to. My app wasn't wanting to let me do stuff, and I was like, "Screw you, let me do it."
Right.
So I barely got up and running just when you were up and running.
Yeah, bro. I gotta rearrange all my fucking videos right now because I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, I gotta rename all this crap and I gotta freaking pull stuff out. Like it's like a goddamn mess right now. So I'm gonna have to really go through this in a minute because I'm just like, what the hell, man? It's a goddamn mess. It just has me like this right.
What, was Krillin busy? Come on, buddy, you can't be serious. With your power level, you're no android, you're no Namekian, and you're certainly no Super Saiyan. You're just human.
Yeah? Well, you know what? Power levels! Super Saiyans! And you! Shin Kiko!
Oh, that's Adora shit!
Like seriously, that was me the whole time. Like for I was like 10 shit hot the whole time trying to fuck with this shit. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where I want to start. Do I want to start with the finale? Do I want to get into the continuity area?
I
Or,
mean, I'd say let's talk
or do you
about the
want to do the
finale first because, like, let's start with the positive, the stuff we love, and then be like, but then let's not
yeah,
just start off negative.
yeah, because I mean, yeah, because after we talk about that, I gotta get your 2 cents on this Assassin's Creed controversy shit too.
Mm.
But we'll talk about that in a minute. So, yeah, I mean, let's start. Like, I guess we could start with the positives with the finale.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Somehow he found MJ, apparently.
I mean, Bo DeMaio confirmed that like about a week or two ago. Yeah, with the cliffhanger, he confirmed that Spider-Man found MJ. Yeah, he confirmed it on his Twitter, which I was like happy about.
And they're in talks for the show. Like it's being hinted at.
Yeah, and I kind of hope they go through with it because that show was fucking epic. That was, dude, that's like one of those shows. The way it ended, it was some bullshit.
Dude,
You know?
I was telling my wife that like I love that one so much that it's actually hard for me to watch it because I've seen it so many times that I have
Yeah.
so much of it memorized that it's like that's why I'd rather watch Fantastic Four or Hulk,
Yep.
especially She-Hulk era Hulk. I'd rather watch
Yes.
that stuff because I didn't see it as much.
Yeah. Agreed. Actually, to be fair, I watched damn near all of them, and I'll say this: like, when it comes to the Iron Man cartoons, season 2 was the best. That was like the best season. Like,
I think just for me, that room, that freaking room, dude, like that was just it sparked so much imagination. He never used half of those damn things, but
bro,
it looked cool. I've seen guys who will make stuff like that out of Lego. They'll get all their different Tony Starks and they'll put them all these Iron Man suits up on the wall and everything, and it's just like it's freaking cool, man. And to this day, the action figures, I still loved them. With the little metallic parts that never stayed on. So eventually you just
yeah,
end up with a naked Iron Man. I need to get
yeah,
me a War Machine. That's what I'm really after.
yeah. Goals right there, dude. Yeah, but definitely the cameos was a positive, dude. Because I mean, at least like seeing Doctor Strange in a whole room doing fucking surgery and shit. I was like, what the hell? Like for real, I
Right.
saw it. I was like, what the hell?
Fucking Black Panther. I mean,
Yeah,
oh,
and then that was cool. We're gonna get into that continuity here. We're gonna get into that a little bit, but that was badass to see Black Panther there. let's see, it was Daredevil. I was surprised they had Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, dude, I lost my shit. I was like yelling at my dog. I'm like, "Do you see? Are you seeing this?" And she's just looking at me.
Yeah, that was a trip seeing Cloak and Dagger, bro. I was like, no fucking way. Not Cloak and Dagger. What the fuck?
Dude, because I don't think they've ever even been hinted at in any of the stuff.
No, never. They've never thrown any hints at Cloak and Dagger, at least not from what I can remember.
Yeah,
But
dude. I
yeah,
mean, fucking, I thought it
that
was cool the way they had Flash Thompson in the background. You kind of almost
yeah,
didn't notice
dude.
him. My friend didn't notice him. I actually sent him a picture, you know, pointing it out, like, because he was too focused on Peter and MJ, you know.
Yeah, because I was watching and I'm like, is that motherfucking Flash Thompson? What the hell? Like, yeah, dude, that episode was crazy. But yeah, and then that was a cool thing. The Return of the Phoenix,
I
dude.
I thought it was cool. My friend felt like it was a cop out. You know, he was saying like it was too easy of an out kind of thing. And I can see where that point was, but I'm also like
Yeah,
I also feel like one of the reasons I wasn't liking it in the beginning is I was like everything was playing out too fast. But then when I think of the originals, everything always played out very fast. It
yeah,
wasn't
because
as long and drawn out as we imagine it in our minds. It was like every couple episodes, some more they were in some other shit, some other villains. Like most arcs didn't last very long.
yeah,
And when I reminded myself of that, I was like, this works. This is cool. Seeing young Apocalypse when he's like all badass and they're all kind of fighting on the same
dude,
side. And
that
that
was
reminded me
badass.
of I used to have this comic. I'll send you the picture later. It's Apocalypse when he's young and he's still got the gray skin, but he's in like old Egypt stuff and he's just carrying this fucking sword and he looks just ripped. He
Yeah,
looks awesome.
yeah, I
And
know which one you're talking about.
yeah, when he's just like walking through the dust and whatnot, and I'm like, dude, that's such an awesome piece of artwork, and I loved it so much growing up, and to see that kind of brought to life, I was like, this is freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, I thought it was badass. Shit, there was another part I thought was badass too. Oh, when the whole part, that whole fight scene with the X-Men fighting Bastion, dude. When
The
he took Cable's arm and he fused with the techno-organic virus and they were just beating the living shit out of him. Well, at
with
first
the
he was
fucking
beating the fuck out of the X-Men at first.
that rogue booty shot, I got to point it out.
Oh my god, yep.
Everybody was complaining about how they took away the rogue ass, but then they just had that big old shot right there at the end.
Yeah, I can't stop laughing at that. I was like, yeah, I guess that shut everybody the fuck up about Rogue's ass.
Yeah. And dude, she was and again anime inspired fight scenes. The way she's just knocking him around, just
Bro,
beating the
that,
shit out of him, and
that
uh,
was crazy.
the
I think
implication that Gambit's going to return is death.
pretty much. I mean, the fact that that Apocalypse even showed up in the first place, you know what I mean, kind of confirms
Yeah,
that. You know,
and we're seeing
well, not
three
so much.
different apocalypses too,
Yeah,
because we got the
which I think,
present, we got the past, and we got the future going on.
and I think that's what's going to end up happening. By next season is that where you're gonna see three different versions of Apocalypse, and yeah, it's gonna get a little weird.
Which does, I think, kind of segue into some of the continuity errors because Apocalypse is supposed to be trapped. Um, Captain America is supposed to be trapped.
Yep. And then let's not. Ooh, should I point out the biggest continuity error? The biggest one.
I think so because I think I'm missing it.
How is okay? How is T'Chaka still alive? If all those cartoons are supposed to link up, right? Because allegedly there people are trying to say all the '90s cartoons link up and they're connected. But yet, how is it in Fantastic Four you had a young T'Challa and T'Chaka was like dead 10 years ago, and now when we're watching this one, it's King T'Chaka.
Mm.
You can't. And if I'm not mistaken, and especially when those cartoons are supposed to take place in the '90s, right? That cartoon aired from I think like want to say like 94, 96, roughly. So yeah, Shaka had been long dead. So yeah, you already got a continuity error right there. But then again, here's a theory. Well, it's not really a theory, but I can tell you why they don't connect. I can already tell you why because not all those cartoons connect.
Right.
But,
I think
yeah,
we because like especially when to go back to the toys, that was all the Toy Biz era. You kind of think of it all the
yep,
same. But I do want to say that like they've said that only these two connect over here and only these connect over here.
exactly. Because if
And
I'm not mistaken, X-Men, Spider-Man connect, and then Fantastic Four, Iron Man, and the Hulk connect.
right, and Silver Surfer I thought connected, or does that not link up
No, that's
right?
its own. That's its own continuity.
Hmm.
And then don't even get me started with that fucking Avengers United They Stand, which we all know that was a way for them to fucking sell toys.
Right, and yeah, but that one we all knew never synced up.
Yeah, we all knew that was ass.
And yeah, it kind of sucks when they end that stuff a little too soon to try to jump onto the next thing. Like I feel like that's what happened with when they ended Batman Beyond and went into the Batman. Uh,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's successful, like Batman Beyond. I thought Spider-Man Unlimited had unlimited potential, but apparently nobody agreed with me.
No, I always thought that had potential. I was like pissed it ended on a cliffhanger. On
And
one of the worst fucking cliffhangers, if that. Like it was setting up for for something really badass.
I'd love for them to at least finish it in the comics these days because they did make comics of it back in the day. I think I still
Yeah.
have one somewhere.
Yeah, they did. I didn't get a chance to read the comic though. Because I mean, I wanted to see what happened with that whole egg, the egg that freaking was holding a bunch of symbiotes and it unleashed on Counter Earth. I wanted to see the fucking results of that shit. I wanted to see the fallout and see did a bunch of people get infected by symbiotes or what the fuck, you know?
You know what would be great is a movie, just a fucking hour and a half movie to just give us some closure.
Yeah.
Although I'll tell you, the one thing I would crowdfund, like if it would be um, a final season for the Thundercats reboot, because that shit was good.
Yeah.
And they
That was
screwed
one of
themselves because they focused on toy sales at a time when like the economy was in the dump, and they were trying to focus this shit on kids instead of knowing what the collector's market was at the time. And it's like because they didn't make their money, they canceled the cartoon. But it's like the cartoon was good. It's you that was bad.
yeah, because at the end of it's like all they were doing, they were just really trying to sell toys for the most part, and that's what happened with Young Justice. Why it ended at season 2 was because the toys didn't sell. So they figured since the toys didn't sell, nobody was watching the fucking show. So they're like, you know what, cancel this fucking show. Nobody's buying our fucking toys. And then and don't even get me started with that fucking dog shit season 4 and 5. Don't. Because 3 was good, 4 was ass, and then oh my fucking god, that show went down. That show had potential, and it went down the fucking drain. Jeez.
Are we still talking about Young Justice?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Uh,
I had to get that out. I had
I,
to get that out.
I think you meant season 3 was good and 4 is when it went down. 'Cause I
Yeah,
think there's only 4 seasons.
yeah, I know. That's why I had. That's why I stopped for a second. 'Cause I was like,
And
yeah,
I wish that like if you want to cancel it, but give us one more season to wrap shit up. Like, is that really
yeah,
asking too much? Just give us one more season to wrap shit up, put a nice little bow on this thing. Are we really asking too fucking much as fans to get a little closure?
yeah. Apparently, we are. Apparently, we're asking for way too much. We're asking for the fucking moon. But whatever. And then here's one thing I do get a little annoyed with when we talk like certain things with that like projects that happen with the MCU and shit, especially like animation, is that I always hear some people try to give Kevin Feige like all the credit for X-Men '97, and I'm kind of like, not to be an asshole, but he only gets maybe a small amount of credit. You got to give most of the credit to the showrunner, the writers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then
That's
there's
you
a
got to
whole
throw the
guy in
credit.
charge of the animation division because, like, I was reading articles. I don't know, remember his name, but it was like it was an interview with him. So he's the
Yeah.
guy who's over in charge of that shit, and like, even even he's not great considering that Marvel Zombies I think got delayed so much that it basically got canceled,
Yeah.
and
Ugh.
then season two of What If was not anywhere
Jesus
near what season one was.
Christ. Yeah, season one was dog shit. No, season
And
two was dog shit.
season two was so pretentious when they introduced a Native American character, which Marvel has a litany of rich Native American
Bro,
characters to
you're
choose
not the
from.
only one that was saying that.
And you introduce this character, and you're so fucking pretentious as to put it in strictly that language and only that damn language. And like, I know for you, because the way you are with anime, that probably didn't bother you in the slightest. But me, I just
Mm-mm.
want to watch my fucking cartoon. I don't want to read my cartoon. That's what comic books are for.
Actually, that did kind of bother me because I feel like having to read all of that, especially at the pace it was going, it was kind of slow. It kind of was making my brain rot at the time. I'm being
Yeah, I did.
honest with that.
As soon as I figured out what was going on, I actually never finished it. I just went to the next episode. When she appeared later, I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, and her
Uh,
character is like fucking OP as hell.
yeah, dude. I'm like, can we get some Danielle Moonstar up in this bitch?
Can we get a James Proud star? You
Yeah,
know, something,
not,
dude.
not to go
Like,
on the warpath or anything.
I like how you did that. Nice. But yeah, bro, I was just like, dude, you have a handful of Native American characters you could use, but yeah, you just want to make the character up. I mean, but then again, they kind of already were leaning into it with Echo, so I was just kind of like, I'm confused, you know?
Yeah, and Echo was kind of a sleeper kind of thing because, like, I wasn't expecting it to be good, dude. I wasn't even gonna watch it. I was like so just kind of out of it with everything that Marvel's been doing. Like, She-Hulk, man, really took it out of me. That that
Bro,
shit was so bad, and
dude.
then
Let's
they're
just put it
still
this
moving
way.
forward with Ironheart, and I'm like, why? Who wants this? Who is this for?
Like, dude, I just don't. I'm not even gonna waste my money. I'm not even gonna waste my time on Ironheart, bro. I'm really not. Like She Hulk. I mean, let's put it this way. I got like maybe I think 4 episodes, and I was fucking done. And I tried watching the Daredevil episode. Jesus Christ, that Daredevil episode was fucking god awful.
Dude, I was forcing myself to try to like each episode. Like, I did not want to hate that show. I wanted to
Yeah,
love it. I wanted to like it. And when they
yeah,
slapped
dude.
us in the face with that fucking ending, I
Bro,
was just like, dude,
with
what is this? Like, what are we to you that you choose to disrespect us as fans like this?
yeah, and then I was like, wait, what the fuck? That's Scar? What the fuck is this shit? Like seriously, that was like my actual reaction when I saw that was Scar. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, what in the actual fuck?
Yeah, man.
Like,
But yeah, like I said, but I wasn't planning to watch Echo until my buddy watched it. He's like, why didn't you tell me this was a good show? I was like, I didn't know. And
I'm like, you.
I think one of my things that I like too is because one of my friends was talking to me one time about he's like, it kind of annoys me that like one of his fellow teachers had done this where he's like, hey, let's have a little powwow, meaning a talk. And he's like, dude, you're educated enough that you should know better than to do that because a powwow is actually the dance that they were all doing, that festival at the end. And
Yeah,
that's what an actual powwow is. It's not sitting down in the teepee having a conversation. It's a whole ritual thing for them. And I guess the offense within the community comes down to the fact that we're using it wrong, not so much that we're using it, just that we use it wrong.
yeah,
And And what I liked though is they showed you what a real powwow was without like beating you over the head and explaining it. It's just there it is. It's part of the thing. And I think the other thing I liked is being the white kid in a Mexican family. You know, when you look at me at the barbecue, I'm the one who looks like he don't belong. You know what I mean? I always look different than
Yeah.
everybody. And what I liked is her cousin looked biracial, or he was at least very, very light skinned to the point of looking white, but he was still a part of the tribe. He still came from that family, and he's an actual Native American in person. So it was like I liked seeing that person that looked like me just in the story, and but they didn't have to fucking beat you over the head with it. The fact that he's there is the thing. They don't
Yeah.
have to like this conversation that we're having. We can have it, but they don't need to have it in the show. Like we get
Yeah.
it. We're smart. We see what's happening. And
Yeah.
oh, dude, that was a surprisingly good show. And that's what I kind of hate about Marvel right now is like with this Daredevil, not Daredevil. I'm sorry. Well, you Daredevil a little bit too, but the Deadpool thing coming out. It's like, dude, I want to walk away. I want to quit. I want to be done. Why do you got to do
Yeah.
me like this?
Right. I feel you, dude. That's how I feel too. Cause it's like I already said I was gonna be done with fucking Marvel, and then they fucking do Deadpool 3. I'm like, you motherfuckers! I fucking hate you bastards.
Hugh Jackman coming back. I mean, come on.
And then
What
he's
more can you
actually,
want?
and yeah, from what I've hearing and seeing, yeah, he's gonna be wearing the cowl throughout majority of the movie. Like the only reason they show it like that is because yeah, they want you to know it's Hugh Jackman. And if you pay attention to some scenes, you even see there's some scenes where like they CGI Hugh Jackman's face and like you don't see like hair or anything moving. Like when like wind's blowing and shit like that. So obviously he's wearing the cowl. Like you know how
Yeah.
some movie studios do that shit.
And I will say, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was good.
Yeah. That
Um,
was fucking awesome.
I would have more faith in James Gunn if not for the fact that his Suicide Squad movie wasn't all that great.
I had my gripes with it.
It was okay, but it's like when you compare how good that movie was to how good even the weakest Guardians of the Galaxy movie was,
Yeah.
Guardians was still better. Um,
Yeah.
to me anyway. And it's like I feel like he can do great things with these C-list characters, but the moment you start getting into B, he gets a little shaky. And I'm like, and now we're trusting him with all these A-list characters. And
And
as I've said before, if it turns out that people are liking it and it's getting a lot of praise, I will probably buckle and check it out.
yeah.
But you know what? That last Batman movie got a lot of praise, and I never buckled. I was like, screw this guy. He's too skinny. I don't like him.
Me, I just watched it more for the story. I just didn't give like even at the end of the day, I still don't give two shits for Robert Pattinson as Batman. I just watched it mostly for the story.
I think the
You
only
know?
way I would ever check it out is like because I was thinking about getting the Lego Batmobile, that
Yeah.
particular one, and I just I would feel weird having that Batmobile and having never watched the movie. But then my dog got sick. That put me behind financially, so it's looking like I'm not going to get that Batmobile after all. Therefore, I'm not going to watch that shitty movie. But you
Yeah.
never know. I might hit it on a scratch off, and next thing you know, I'm building this thing while I'm got it
Yeah.
playing in the background. You never know what can happen.
Yeah. I was already freaking thinking about hitting a fight. Damn man, I was supposed to play numbers yesterday. Oh well, fuck it. But, yeah, oh man, I'm now my girl's giving me shit right now in the background. She's giving me shit. But yeah, man. But yo, um, so I was gonna ask you, dude, did you hear about the Assassin's Creed Shadows controversy?
See, I'm not a gamer, so I have not heard about this. What's going on?
All right, hold on. I just had to play that because you're gonna be in for a shocker. You ready for this, man?
All right.
So apparently, all right. So apparently, the new Assassin's Creed game it takes place in Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you know anything about Assassin's Creed game, usually they have a character that's representative of that country to be the assassin, right?
Right.
So usually, like, let's say if they're doing for like the second, like Assassin's Creed 2, it would take place in the Italian Renaissance, right? They had an Italian dude as the assassin, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they had one in ancient Greece. They had where you could play as either a Greek man or Greek woman, and then Valhalla, it's basically Norse based, but you're in England. Here's the thing: you start off in Norway, but you migrate to England, and you play as either a male or female Viking, right?
Okay.
So, take a look. Guess what they decided to do with this one?
I'm guessing he's a
So,
black guy.
God damn, you're good. God damn.
I mean,
That's not the worst, but that's not the worst part. That's not the
is it
worst
not
part.
the actual? Because there is that one black samurai. If they made it
Well,
after him,
that's what I'm
I
going to
could see
correct you.
that.
I'm going to correct you on that. I know who you're talking about, Yasuke. I'm going to correct you on that. He actually was never a samurai. He was actually just Nobunaga's retainer. He was never a samurai at all. That's where everybody gets confused. He was never a samurai.
But is it based on that guy, or is it just a
Yes.
random?
Yeah,
It
no,
is?
they're using Yasuke. Then not only that, but yeah, they just basically threw Yasuke in there without doing any fucking research on the dude.
Yeah, it seems.
Yeah.
It seems a pretentious move.
It's very like not only that, but like here's the thing. Whew, here's what it's fucked it because now it's getting backlash from American fans, and don't even get me started with Japan. Like right now, Japan, they're not only are they getting backlash from Japan, but someone wrote a comment in their video in the comment section on YouTube saying, "Now I know what cultural appropriation feels like." And then you have the people that are the DEI team from Assassin's Creed trying to attack the Japanese people and saying, well, we're tired of having freaking white, or the game always having a white protagonist. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, time out. Are y'all trying to say Japanese people are white? You're not trying to say Asians are white now. Is that what we doing?
And also, there's something to be said for wait your turn. You think there's not going to be one set in Africa somewhere? Like they're going across the whole damn globe.
Right.
It's
And
the Japanese people's turn. They've given us a lot culturally. I think we can express a little gratuity for them. Speaking of which, I'm going to be watching my Hero Academia later. Really looking forward to that. That's become like the highlight of my week.
yeah, I told you, dude, my hero is the shit. I've been fucking telling you that. My hero is the shit.
Oh, dude, it's so weird because it's like it's easily in my top 3 anime, but like I almost love it a little bit more than Dragon Ball Z. I
Yeah.
kind of like it a little bit more than Trigun, and it's very weird because it's almost like your favorite Star Wars movie as a kid is your favorite.
Yeah.
It can never be Rogue One. But
Yeah,
what if there's
you.
that part of you that wants it to be this other thing, and it's like for me, it's like I'm fighting these childhood, like these were my loves, these are what molded me, but then I'm like, fuck, this is so good.
Yeah.
Like it's like I said, it's the only one that I will watch with the
Yeah.
subtitles. I'm not waiting for the dub.
No, I hear you. Yeah, and yeah, I feel you on that, bro. And it's like, dude, and then with this whole thing with the Yasuke, it kind of makes me ask the question: is the whole thing with DEI, is it going too far? Is it getting to that point where it's going too far, and it's at the point where it's fucking, where you have people that are in the DEI department that are fucking brain dead? Do you think it's going too far?
Dude,
And
here's the thing: is like Disney keeps losing money doing shit like this, and
Yep.
Warner Brothers loses money doing shit like this.
Right.
When does the pendulum swing the other way?
I can tell you right now, it's not anytime soon, because you want to know why? I can tell you why. Because people aren't giving a fuck about diversity, equity, and inclusion. People just want entertaining shit. They want movies and video games that tell a good story. The whole purpose of people getting into comic books, watching movies, playing video games is to escape all the bullshit of the real world.
And
We
I
don't
will
want
say,
to see, yeah, we don't want to see all the bullshit in the real world reflect into our games, our movies, our comic books, none of that shit. We don't want to see it reflect into any of our media.
and see, I think I agree with you to a point in that um, I don't ever want it to be the overhead thing. Like if it's there, I don't want that to be the focal point necessarily because like
Right,
comic books started on
right.
speaking socially. Like that was the whole reason a couple of old Jewish guys created Captain America and sent them to punch
Mm-hmm.
Hitler in the face. So it's like we can't, and I can give you just a list of times in which, like the Nixon administration reaching out to Stan Lee to put out an anti-drug thing, and then that basically leading to the death of the Comics Code Authority. And it's just seduction of the gun was made um, basically trying to get a gun law passed, and
Right.
but gun law failed. But it's like so it's always there. But I'm like, every single one doesn't have to be that. I almost think of it like comedians. Like there are some guys that do the political stuff, and then there are other guys that just tell stories. There are other guys that do one-liners, etc., etc. There's a guy out there with puppets. Like there's a freaking diversity in it. Not every single thing is politically charged. And
Right.
sometimes, and then also look at Power Rangers. They didn't need to beat you over the head with it. We could see it was a diverse team and go.
Right. That's like the prime example when I think like, diverse team and whatnot, and they're not having to just blatantly tell you already
So
there. And
I
even with
cannot
the team,
remember a single one where race was really an issue.
exactly. I was even gonna bring that up. Like, no one's really making a big deal about fucking race and Power Rangers. Matter of fact, you can still pick your favorite, whoever your favorite fucking Power Ranger is, because at the end of the day, every Power Ranger character has some type of personality trait that you can relate to. You know,
Right.
because I
And
know for me, huh?
go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like one of my favorite Power Ranger characters besides Zach was fucking Jason. You know, Jason was one of my favorite fucking characters in the Power Rangers. It is what it didn't have race didn't have shit to do with it. Like, and that's why I always say this stupid shit that like DEI is just getting to the point where it's like it's gone brain dead. You know, because you start adding race and shit where it doesn't need to necessarily be added. You know what I mean? And it gets
I
to a point where when you have said people that are trying to explain to you that, especially with their history, and they're trying to correct you on your history, and then and at the same time, you have people say, "Oh, you're just being a racist, you're being a bigot, all this shit." You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, where's the line?
and I will say in regards to bigotry, I saw something that I've seen it a couple times now, and each time I was like, "Fuck you guys," because it was when I haven't gotten to see it yet, but I am intending to check it out. It's that Disney show where it all takes place in like Africa, and I think it's like a kind of a sci-fi type of deal.
My girlfriend watches that.
And so when that came out, because that looks pretty interesting, I just I'm always busy. Um, and I'm very scatterbrained, so it's hard to find a time when I can just really concentrate on stuff. But when that was coming out, all it had was people talking shit on it, hating on it, blah blah blah. Same thing when they recently announced, I forget who it is, but that he's basically doing a vampire movie, and it's a black guy at the helm, and there's gonna be a black star. And all I can think of is every time they do a race swap character, you always see these people coming in saying, why can't you just develop new stuff and do this why can't you just have your own version of it? Why do you have to rewrite this? And then when somebody looks at that and goes, okay, you're right, I'll do that. I'll go make my own version of this thing. And then when they make it, you're still talking trash. It's like,
Hold up, hold up. Before you continue, hold on. I got something for that.
A smoke and a pancake. You know, flapjack and a cigarette? All right. Cigar and a waffle? No. Pipe and a crepe? No. Bong and a blintz? No. Oh, well, then there is no pleasing you.
yeah, there's no pleasing you.
Yep.
But I also think like that's where you really see the racism peak out, because a lot of people like to hide, like they'll take reasonable arguments that you and I would make, and they'll
Yeah.
hide their racism behind our reasonable arguments. And it's like when shit
Yeah,
like
I
that
mean,
happens, it's like you suddenly have nothing to hide behind.
you
You
know
just
what?
look like a racist asshole.
Yeah, and you know what? I really can't disagree with you on that because I've seen that shit time and time again. I'm not gonna act. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I haven't seen that shit before. Because I mean, let's be honest, I have. Because I can at least be like, if you make a freaking brand spanking new character and it's an original character, I'm gonna give you credit. I'm like, hey, you made an original character. Let's see how the character's portrayed. Now, if it's some bullshit where you're like preaching to fucking people and shit like that, then you're gonna automatically make me fall off. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And I also don't like how people are trying to compartmentalize art, but it's largely white people that they're trying to box in, that if you're white, like basically if you're a certain this, you can't write for anything outside of that. I'm like, whose
Dude, I
story
get tired of
only
it.
involves a white man? Whose story only involves Mexican women? Like who
Right.
the hell writes like that? But again, it's really mainly white people that they do that to where it's like you could create a white and Asian character and nobody's gonna raise a finger. But when I develop my black character, suddenly it's like, who the fuck are you to do this? I'm like, I'm somebody who's known a lot of black people. Like, screw you. This guy is based on people I've known throughout my lifetime. And yeah, screw you. But
Yeah, no. Yeah, I feel you, dude. Like, and honestly, I think I don't think it's should be that big of a deal. You know what I mean? I think for the most part, if that's the story you want to tell, you should be able to tell it. I just think right now it's just gotten to a point where in this day and age, like people are just overly sensitive about every single fucking thing. Like we're in a climate right now where we're just everybody is just so sensitive to everything because they're fucking mind blown about shit that happened decades ago and
and
they don't know how to fucking process it. So they automatically do the most and go to the extreme and think, oh, well, you're a freaking racist because you did this to my fucking family. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it just gets to a point where people are living in the past.
and and I also feel like it's, I can't say this enough. I feel like it's the internet and not humanity.
Yep. Yep. No, I
because
agree.
because like, man, you see so much ignorance online that like the only way you're going to see that in the real world is like a bum yelling at clouds. Just oh man, I saw the dumbest comment on the planet the other day. There's a video, vintage video, guys, bending over, he's doing this workout, and somebody in it comments under it, do it slowly, you're supposed to blah blah blah. The video is of bodybuilder era Arnold Schwarzenegger. What kind of moron watches Schwarzenegger working out and thinks he knows better than six-time Mr. Olympia? And
It's
it's
a
like,
6-time Mr. Olympia, but it's the fact that he's been doing it damn near he's been doing it for decades. So what
r-
the fuck are you, like, who the fuck is that dude to even tell him shit?
right. And I'm just like, and everybody clowned him on it, but it's like, dude, you don't see people saying dumb shit like that in real life, because even if they think it, the second thought is, oh, are people going to think I'm dumb for this? And it's that whole better to be thought a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt. The ability to go online and like, I've said stuff where I was like, I'll look at it the next day when like people are still commenting on it, and I'm like, oh, I kind of look like an a-hole. I think I was actually wrong about this. And I do the world a favor. I delete the comment. I don't admit I was wrong by no means, but I delete my wrongness from the world.
Yeah, I think that's where me and you were different because I can admit when I'm wrong. If I'm wrong about something, I'll own it. That's just me though. Like I
I
have
just won't own it to
no.
strangers online. Like I'll own it to my family, to my friends, to my coworkers, to people around me. I'm just not gonna own it to strangers who are taking a dump while they're fucking pointing out my stupidity. It's like you're not worth the time. I'm just deleting it
Man,
because
don't
you
even
were
get me
right.
started. Don't even get me started with that shit. Because like I got into a whole fucking argument with somebody on Instagram about the Superman suit that was posted up and it was from the proposed Superman flyby, right?
Hmm.
This dude tried to say no, it was yes, flyby. This dude tried to say that the suit was from Superman Lives originally, right? And in the back of my head, I'm kind of like, what are you talking about? First off, Superman Lives, that was a project from back in 97 that didn't even get off the fucking ground. Superman Flyby, they didn't start doing that shit until 2004. That was one of the proposed suits, you know? And I remember, like, and the dude was trying to say he was one of the set designers and stuff like that for it. I still call Cap. I call Mad Cap on that, you know?
Right.
And you're saying, yeah, and the dude was saying Josh Hartnett wore the freaking suit that was going to be in the movie. I'm like, dude, that was a test suit. Like,
Right.
yeah, I don't even want to get into that whole fucking situation. All I know is that I wanted to slap the fucking dog piss out this fucking dude.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It amazes me. Like I'll come across people that like they're being unreasonable about shit I agree with them on. Like I am not looking forward to this new Joker movie. I thought the first one was perfect. I thought it was a brilliant movie, and I'm like, how can you top this? And but I got into an argument with this guy who's like, he's throwing a fit because it's woke that they're singing. Joker doesn't sing. That's not how it is in the comics. And like we we go into it, and it ultimately it's because it's like one guy points out, or I point out the Harley and Joker setting the woods on fire song. Somebody else points out that the Joker was singing in the '89 movie, and he's like, well, that's not how it was in the comics. Okay, here's the Joker singing "Oops, I Did It Again" while he's like torturing somebody or some crazy shit in the comics. Well, that's not
Yeah.
original, so I find original, Bill Finger era, and he's dressed as Pavarotti, the singing clown, and I'm like, here you go. And he starts on a rant as if he won and all, and I'm just like, my mind was completely blown about anybody could just be that
Dude.
ridiculous. And I thought of that, arguing with idiots is like playing chess with pigeons. It doesn't matter how good you are, they're just going to shit on the board and walk away like they won. And
Oh my god, that's
I
too
was just
funny.
like, that was that, like that was the real life of that. And I was just like, and I'm in Target, I'm in the Lego aisle, and I look around and I'm like, why am I giving this time and energy?
Johnny,
I've
I only have one question for you,
All
man.
right, quick. What kind of shit is that?
uh, but, but
Not you, just the fact that you were going back and forth with that dude, man. I wouldn't have even wasted the fucking time with that stupid fuck, bro. Like the whole time, I just would have been like this, man.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Like for real, that would have been me the whole time.
oh dude, like I said, it got to a point where I was like, I'm out. I was just like, I'm out. I fucking turned off the notifications from that thing. I didn't even want to know if there were people online who agreed with me. Like I didn't give a shit. I was like, I'm in the Lego aisle. I got $16 to my name. Let's see what I can do.
Yeah, I don't
And
blame you, man.
yeah, it was just it became that. Funny thing is, I will be posting that Lego set build on TikTok tomorrow.
Oh, nice. That's what's up. I'll be looking for it.
But yeah, man, it's just like, and here's what I noticed too is on the reels, how after a certain point it'll show you a comment. It always shows you the most negative, just like hateful comment that they can find, because you'll when you go into the comments, there's always comments that came earlier, there's always comments that have more likes, more heart reactions, there's always better comments, but the one they show you is the one that's like drowns in the most negativity. It's like they lure you into these things. And I, for like a week, I was going through reels and just getting lured in time after time again, just arguing with people for no reason.
Yeah, that's what they do, man. That's how they do. Motherfuckers always want to argue over some stupid shit, dude. I mean, I even get to a point where like I'm somehow I let myself get baited into these fucking arguments. I allow myself to get baited into these arguments, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like after like 5 minutes, I'm like, why did I allow myself to get baited into this fucking shit?
And a lot of it too is like when you're the original commenter, I think that's when it's the easiest to get pulled into it, because people want to come in and be negative just to be negative.
Yep.
And I try to avoid that. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm in a mood and I'll do a little trolling, but most of the time there's a lot of times where I'll look at some people's shit and I'll start to type something and I'll just like, delete it. Why do you care? And
Actually, no lie, I be trolling a lot. Majority of the time, I be trolling.
I enjoy it. It's fun, but also like what I don't enjoy is like when the comments just keep coming back. When it's like, it's like I've made my point, and it's like we're done here, fella. We're done, and they just want to keep going. And I'm like, there was one person I got into it with over, and where she really pissed me off is like a lot of people do this where you're a grown man with a cartoon for a thing, and it's like I drew that. That's my artwork. Like eventually I
Right.
will have my artwork back up here for this thing. It's just new phone, so I gotta reteach it stuff. But it's like you're not insulting me because by pointing out that I'm talented. Like, yeah, that's my shit. That's my art. I created that. I'm allowed. I'm not like some guy who uses an anime picture for their thing. It's like this is my art that I'm putting out to the world
Yeah,
because
because
I feel it's good enough to put out to the world.
I want to hear somebody bitch about my fucking shit right now, my avatar. And I'm gonna be like, bitch. All I did was AI art, and I just put my face on Kratos. That's it. That's literally all I did. So I want to hear the fucking argument. I want to hear the comments on that shit. Because personally, I don't give a fuck. You know. But yeah, that is kind of dumb that people just come sideways like that. But it is what it is. That's the world we live in. You know. Too many people. Like, it's like I said, man. Too many people are just overly sensitive over shit. You know.
And the funny thing is, in that instance, I was the one who was overly sensitive. I was the one who should have just been like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I got petty and I basically started calling her a slut, and it degraded into that
God
real quick.
damn. God damn, Johnny, you were like Conor McGregor right now. Like in
Everyone
this.
on the roster, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
That's pretty much what you just did. God damn.
Yeah, I got super petty after that. She hurt my feelings, and I was like, all right, it's on. Gloves are off.
Damn, I thought I was a petty motherfucker. Like,
And the way
damn,
I
dude.
said it was like, because it was something to do on like, it started with, that's why I date men in my 30s or some shit like that. And I responded with like, if you were, um, it's like, if you're, if you were married, your opinion would matter or something like that. Or if your opinion mattered, you'd be married. That's what it was. And not still dating, basically. And, it went on from there. And at some point, I said, she's like, I didn't ask. I'm like, nobody asked you about the litany of dudes who have blah, blah, blah. And I just like went on that. And then and
Damn.
at some point, she responded with something, but I responded with a quote where I basically reworded what she said. And it's don't slut shame me by a woman a slut who should be ashamed.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
That's all I had to say.
But yeah, like I said, I should have walked away. I was being small and petty, but sometimes you got to be small and petty to a stranger
Hey,
online.
you do what you gotta do, man.
But but yeah, I stopped letting it bait me. That's the point of that story. Is I was doing that for like a solid week, and now I'll look at the comment, I'll just think, oh, that's really dumb, and I'll just keep scrolling.
I had that happen where I went back and forth with somebody for 2 weeks before. But to be fair, where this person fucked up is that I told them I can do this shit all day, and they called my bluff. That's the worst thing you can do with me. Like, if you want to get into some petty shit, don't call my bluff. Never call my bluff on that shit, because you're gonna learn really fast. I can be one of the most pettiest motherfuckers you will ever meet. My girl will tell you, I am petty. I am petty. Am I not, babe? Am I petty? Exactly. I am petty as fuck. Like, I'm like one. Like, if you go back and forth with me on the internet, yeah, I'm gonna keep going until you quit. Because I won't quit until you quit.
I think one of the ones I got a guy like he basically tried to have the last word, but I was like, I won. Like, you can have the last word. Anybody seeing this knows I won, and it was something to do with comic book this, that, or the other thing. And he's like, I
Yeah.
probably own thousands or whatever, and I was like, prove it. And I posted a picture of my comic book boxes.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I remember that back and forth. I remember seeing that back and forth. I remember that.
And I was like, prove it. And he said something, and like, but that was it. I was like, dude, like, you can take a picture. It's on your phone. It's the thing you're arguing with me. Walk over to your comics, take a fucking picture.
And just so y'all know, whoever watches this in the replay, he really does have an assload of fucking comics. I've seen his collection. He's got an assload, just for the record.
And I got TikToks on him too.
Yeah.
Because I've started doing a thing where like I'll usually do it in 3 parts, but I'll take a box out and like I'll just show every book that's in there in order, and just for like filler content. Like there was one point where I went like 15 days of filler content, and then I got burned out and didn't post for like a month.
Oh wow.
And I'm trying to get back into filler content. It's good. It's because when I was doing it, I went from like 300 to 500 followers pretty quickly, and I'm like, it works.
Yeah. Because I know right now, me and my girl, like, probably either next month or when we get back from Vegas, we're gonna start building a Gunpla. We're gonna start a Gunpla collection and start building them and showing them off.
Mm.
And for those that don't know what Gunpla is, it's Gundam plastic models. Like, we're gonna start building that shit because I've already got a couple in mind that I'm already fixing to get my hands on. But I don't know. I'll probably look on my birthday and see what they got.
See, I think I've only seen 2 Gundam series, so I would feel like too much of a poser getting anything Gundam. I feel like if you get that, you have to like have seen every series and know every arc. And it's like I've seen 2 of them, and I only remember one of them.
No, you don't got to see every single arc, dude. Like, because here's the thing. Gundam, for one, Gundam is a multiverse, and it can get kind of confusing because basically how you know what universe is in what is when they say the timeline. Like when they say like the year is like universal century something something, that's the main Gundam canon storyline. When they say like something like future century something, that Mobile Fighter G Gundam, or after Colony 19, yeah, that's Gundam Wing. So usually it just depends on how they state the date. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's all it is. That's how you know what takes place in what universe. And then I think Cosmic Era is Gundam Seed. AD is which one was it? Gundam 00. I forget the one for Iron Blood Orphan. But which,
Man,
by
that's
the
the
way,
one I'm
that
familiar with.
yeah, I recommend Iron. Like, if anybody has never seen Gundam, Iron Blood Orphan is a good one. Also, another good one is the OG, like one of the ones from the '90s, Gundam Wing, which that's like one of the ones most people are familiar with.
See,
Is
the thing
Gundam
is,
Wing.
I've seen it. I just don't remember any of it. I don't know if
There's
you've ever
too much
done that.
shit that
Where
there's too much shit that happens in that anime. It's hard to really remember. You know, there's too much shit that happens.
thing is, I marathoned it in maybe a few days, kind of thing. So it's like it's almost like reading books. There are some books I have read and I cannot tell you a thing about because it's been like 10 years, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
And I read every word of it, but it's the same thing with comics. Or some comics, I just if I were to reread it, it would come back to me instantly. I'm like, oh yeah, of course, right, right. But it's like that's what it would take is me rereading it to
yeah,
remember any of it.
yeah. Same. That's how I was with Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like there's just some things I didn't really remember. Hell, there's still some things to this day I don't remember, and I have to go back and reread it. You know what I mean? Because for starters, that shit is long as fuck. That's that shit. That whole event was long as hell.
See, what sucked is like speaking of long events, Doomsday Clock. Like by the time the final two issues came out,
I lost
eh,
interest.
like I've because I read the first 10, and it's like now if I want to finish the series, I damn near have to go and reread the whole series because I have
Yep.
forgotten everything that happened, and I'm just looking at it like, were you impressive enough for me to want to do that, or should I just comicsology it?
Yeah, because I'm like bits and pieces with that one too. You know what I mean? I remember bits and pieces of Doomsday Clock. Like I
Yeah,
already know I'm like I already know I'm gonna have to go back and reread it, read most of it. You know?
yeah. See, the one I'm looking forward to rereading is DC's Metal. Like I know the ending was kind of meh, but I think like the road getting there was really fun, and
Yeah.
I want to fill it in because I don't want to do it digitally. I want to fill it in and have every single book, and I think I'm missing maybe 5 or 6 at this point.
Yeah. Good luck with that, man. If you find the whole thing of DC Metal, good luck, dude.
The one that's going to be expensive is the Flash one. What is it? The
The Flash
Red
Ward?
Death. The no, the I think it's called the Red Death. Because like there,
Oh, the Flash Batman. Yeah, yeah, got you,
yeah,
got you.
I think that's the only one I don't have. That and the Batman Who Laughs, because I want a first printing. I have a third printing. The third printing looks awesome because it's just the inks, but I just want the first printing just because
Good luck with the Batman Who Laughs. Good
uh,
luck with that one.
yeah, like those two comics are going to run me close to $100 for those
Yeah,
two,
especially that.
which is why I
Yeah,
ain't doing it anytime soon. But at some point, that is on my agenda, and I'm gonna completely finish out that friggin' series, and then I'm gonna read it again.
yeah, yeah. That's another one I might have to reread too, because I like and Dark Metal because I got confused in some points in Dark Metal. I got to go back and reread that because
See,
Dark Metal was very very confusing.
and I think I have that one, just haven't read it. There's a lot of crap that I've bought, and what sucks is moving to Dallas, man. I haven't been able to buy comics in over a year now,
Yeah.
and so much cool stuff has come out. The Thundercats one, I think there's a Lilo and Stitch one.
And
What
then
else?
I think IDW just redid Space Ghost. I think it's IDW.
I thought it was Dynamite.
It might have been Dynamite. It's one of the two.
Which I
I
think
couldn't.
it says something about DC's quality that Warner Brothers would rather go to a different company than their own company.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah, because I was gonna say, doesn't Warner Brothers? I was trying to remember who owned Hanna Barbera. And I was like, yeah, it is Warner Brothers.
Somewhere
Yeah,
I have a DC Space Ghost issue 1 that I guess just a lot of people like me just kind of bought the first issue and then kind of just walked away from it.
nah, that book was kind of dark though. That book was pretty fucked up. But yeah, I mean, I didn't read all of the Space Ghost book either. I should have, but I never did. Why? I don't know.
Well, you know how I am about comics. I'm real bad about buying them, enjoying the cover work, and then kind of just letting them collect dust.
Yeah, I mean, and I
I'm
still,
so
yeah,
far behind on so much stuff just because I'm like, I'll read comics once in a blue moon and then I'll like binge through, maybe up to 50 comics in a short period of time, and then I just set it aside for so long.
yeah, and I need to get caught back up on the new Action Comics. I know I'm behind on Action Comics. I just bought one of the newer ones when they did the whole outfit change for Superboy, Supergirl, Connor, Superman of China. I forgot all the other characters. But yeah, they introduced the two other characters that were like, I think they were Kryptonians. I don't remember. I think they were Kryptonians from the future or some shit like that. They were like twins.
No Power Girl.
Power Girl, I think she's in the JSA.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's not technically Power. I don't know why they never really. I don't know why they don't ever really do shit with Power Girl. Well, I know why, because yeah, they have Supergirl. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, which of course makes me lament all the more that we don't have Amanda and Jimmy on Harley Quinn still, because they would utilize her from time to time.
Yeah. Yeah, and Harley Quinn, like, I don't even know what the fuck they're doing with Harley Quinn anymore. It's like at this point, they're trying to make her like Deadpool, and it just doesn't work. You know?
Yeah, it's
It,
yeah, dude. It's frustrating too because it's like, how long does it take number two selling comic book to being canceled to soon to be three? I'm willing to bet times since you
yeah,
got rid of them. It's like, how many cancellations does it take for you to figure it out, man?
yeah, and it's like, and I think what hurts it too is the fact that like they're trying to like steer away from the whole fact that Harley was abused and whatnot. I'm kind of like, that's what makes her character strong. That's what makes her character interesting, is the fact that she was a survivor of abuse and overcame the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right? And it kind of sucks that the what I think is the worst Harley Quinn voice actor is also the one upholding the truest Harley Quinn story.
Are you talking about the one from the TV show?
I'm talking yeah, the animated one with
Yeah,
Spin, because I do not like that Kaylee Cuoco. I don't like her, what she brings
Cali
to the
Cuckoo.
table. Yeah, and but that cartoon is still about as true to the Amanda and Jimmy era as anything out there right now.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
And it's it's I will always say that I don't like what she brings to the table as Harley, but I did. I know I get a lot of flack for this, but I did like the other chick from uh, Melissa Raunch or whatever her name is. Raunch. I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Yeah. Oh,
the
yeah,
other
yeah,
one,
that's right. Yeah, I thought she wasn't half bad either. I
because I
didn't think she
think
was
she
half
brought a
bad.
lot of energy and she did the voice. Like, that's Harley Quinn was made in in the fucking, not in the comics, but in the cartoons, and what sold it was that freaking voice. So if you're not doing the voice, you're not doing it right, which is the same thing I kind of had a problem with Margot Robbie. She couldn't hold the voice. She could do it at times, but she kept fading in and out of it throughout the whole damn story, or at least the first movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I did kind of notice in the first movie she did kind of fall out of the voice just a little bit.
And I think she got better with it, but by the time she got better with it, I was kind of already done.
Yeah, like I think for me, I got kind of burnt out with Harley in live action. With Birds of Prey, that pretty much burnt me out for Harley Quinn.
Birds of Prey is what made me walk away. As I was like, I'm not going to watch
Yeah,
this, and if I'm not going to watch this, then why even continue? And I said, I'm not going to continue.
and it
At the
sucks.
time, I said I'm only going to watch the third Wonder Woman. I'm like, that's it. I want to finish off the Wonder Woman trilogy, and then they screwed us.
Yeah, and it's a damn shame because oh, sorry, it's a damn shame because it's like I wanted to like Birds of Prey, but it was just the direction. Yeah, the direction that they kind of went with it was just what the fuck is this shit? Is this what? What even is this? Like, this is not Birds of Prey. I don't know what the fuck this is. Like, yeah, it was a huge fucking letdown. Like, I was expecting like I was expecting Oracle, maybe Batgirl. You know what I mean?
Right.
And don't even get me started with like Black Canary, dude. I hated how they did Black Canary, and them like they did her absolutely zero justice. Don't get me wrong, I like the actress that played her, but just overall, just the way she was written, they did zero justice to her. Like, they basically waited to the end of the movie for her to use her power. I'm like, how predictable. That's like cliche, like every other fucking superhero movie. You know what I mean?
Hmm. No, it's yeah, dude. Like I said, I didn't even want to give it a chance. I just looked at it. I was like, this isn't Birds of Prey. Like, why wouldn't you have just called this Gotham City Sirens?
They might as well have at that rate.
You know, at least
Hmm.
it would have
A lot
had
of people, that was
Harley.
the original title.
But yeah,
Yeah,
dude, that's crazy. Like how far off the rails that thing went. But like I said, I would have still liked to have finished it. I would have
yeah,
still liked for them to have put a nice little ribbon on it, tie it up nicely before you move on and break our hearts.
yeah. And you know what? I should have thrown this in my freaking on the topic thing. About Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Do you feel like when it came down to it, Dwayne the Rock Johnson kind of somewhat was like the nail in the coffin for the DCEU?
Uh, I'm more inclined to say that like Dwayne Johnson has gotten so big that basically people don't like him simply because he's so big, and it's just I think he generates a lot of haters. And because to me, I thought he was perfect for the role. I thought he was perfect for the role before he even, like, I'm talking 10 years ago, basically since the first time I saw DC Showcase and was really introduced to this character. I'm like, dude, this is The Rock. Like, even down to the weird way his head kind of slopes in a little bit. I'm like, The Rock can fucking play this guy. And from what I saw of the movie, because like my wife was watching it, I was in and out doing other shit. What I saw of it, I enjoyed it, but it was like I said, this was after I walked away, so I had no real interest in, like, when I walk away, I'm done. Even if it's something I'm interested in, I'm still not gonna watch it. Same thing with Blue Beetle. You know I love Blue Beetle, but I'm like, if I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah, no, I hear you, dude.
But
Yeah,
like, I thought it was a good casting. I really enjoyed it, but to me, I think the final nail in the coffin really was Aquaman more than anything because they knew it was going to be a failure because they knew nobody wanted to watch it with a fucking abuser in it. Like, like they should have fired Amber Heard, and I think to me, Aquaman 2 and their inability to just have a spine and do the right thing.
dude. And
I
even then,
think that did
Aquaman 2.
worse.
Yeah, and for the record, Aquaman 2 just wasn't as good as the first one. I'm just gonna be honest about it. It's for me, Aquaman 2 was just so forgettable. It's not even funny.
And the first
But
first Aquaman was just okay. Because like if
yeah,
you've
that's
seen
what I'm saying.
Justice
Like, yeah.
League and if you've seen Throne of Atlantis, like you're not getting a whole lot more than what you've already seen.
No, pretty much Aquaman was peak in Justice League.
And so
Yeah,
yeah, it's like you're not getting, like I said, anything new. And then they should have written her out when they did that director's cut or whatever, the Snyder cut. Like she should have been written
yeah,
out then. That was the
yeah,
perfect opportunity. We already knew like all um the voice recordings of her admitting that she hit Johnny had already come out,
yeah,
and people, I don't know why they are afraid to move against somebody because they're a woman. It's like abuser is abuser, man. It's that simple.
yeah. Because like the way I look at it, being an abuser doesn't have a gender attached to it. I fucking said it. I fucking said it. When it comes to being an abuser, gender don't mean shit. Because anybody can be a fucking abuser. Don't
Now,
matter if you're a man, you're a woman. That doesn't fucking matter. An
I will
abuser is a
say
fucking abuser.
it is more often worse for women due to size differences,
Yep.
but it doesn't mean it's always going to be worse for women.
Yep.
And also, you know, somebody had posted this thing where it's like, what happens when you Google search, why is my wife yelling at me? And it's like, did you do this? Did you forget that? Have you considered her emotions? Blah, blah, blah. And then if you Google, why is my husband yelling at me? It's like, there is help for domestic violence, blah, blah, blah. And it's
Right.
so it's like
With the double standard, like a motherfucker, dude.
yeah, dude. And it's
Yeah. That's just the
it's
whole
one of those
fucking.
things. And and
Good over there? It's probably having audio issues. Damn. Well, I will say this.
right.
I think when it comes to the whole Dwayne the Rock Johnson thing, all I gotta say is this: like, for the most part, I agree with everything that you said. I do want to add on a little bit too. What really made the movie what really fucked it up was the fact that Dwayne Johnson didn't want Black Adam to interact with Shazam. Why? Because of Dwayne Johnson's ego. Let me explain. Do you know that when he signs a contract for a movie, he has a whole clause where it says he can only be hit a certain amount of times and that he cannot lose? You know, there's a clause like that, right? I don't know if you heard about it, but apparently there is a
Can't
clause that
hear you.
says that shit, and that's why, like, when you see a lot of his movies, he's not really the one getting his ass whooped. You know, but to throw that into the whole Black Adam thing and not have Black Adam linked to Shazam, that's an ego thing. You know, and I just think at the end of the day, when it comes to anybody, if you respect the source material, your ego goes out the fucking door. You should put your ego should go right out the fucking door. Especially if you're saying, you're a huge comic book fan, you respect the source material. Well, you talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? You know what I'm saying?
See, to play devil's advocate a little bit, I think it could also be said that maybe he just really had his heart set on Superman because he fought really hard to get Cavill in it, and I think it was just like, and it could still be said ego because it could be like, oh well, look at how big and bad I am. Like only Superman is able to go toe to toe with me, but I still like the fact that he fought hard for Superman, which is one of the things that really, to me, killed things. Is like,
Yeah, but
Cavill getting screwed twice.
yeah,
It's not really fun for anybody.
yeah, and I would agree to that too, if it wasn't the fact that he has that clause in damn near every movie he's in. You
Yeah,
know?
because there does come a point I can say, okay, your introductory movie, it's this or that, but at some point you are going to move from anti-hero to straight villain, and when you become a villain, you got to get your ass beat.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is like, dude, come on now. Like, and I get, he had his heart set on Superman, but at
Don't
the end of
worry,
the
he
day,
won't do nothing.
I don't know. And now they're trying to have him.
Sorry.
Marvel right now. Marvel is looking to are trying to cast him as Apocalypse for the MCU.
Wait, they're trying to cast who's Apocalypse?
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
No.
Yes, that's what I said. No, fuck no, hard pass. Get him the fuck out of here. Get him out of here.
Let me give you my MCU Dwayne Johnson. All right, because you want to know what one of the real problems with The Rock is? He's one of the most identifiable faces on the planet. So you only really see him as The Rock. And that's why people have talked about making him Gladiator, because then you can paint his face and maybe look a little different. I think that's why I had Apocalypse, because they want to paint his face, make him look different. I think they need to go even further. I think they need to go full balls on the face and kind of smash his face in and up, and for him to be Beta Ray Bill, to do a voice, not do his voice, but to do a voice, a gravelly voice, and do a different kind of acting.
Yep.
You change your voice, it's not your face, but it's still based on your facial expressions. Like everything Beta Ray Bill is doing is still based on what The Rock is doing. So it's like, and I think it gives him the opportunity to prove that yes, he's an action actor, but he's still an actor because it's like Batista, he'll never be on that level, but I do think he can show by like I'm still bringing it. Like, even though that doesn't look like me, even though that doesn't sound like me, look at the way people are reacting to me and to what I'm saying and to my
I'll
dialogue
give an
and to my action.
and I'm gonna give an unpopular opinion. Batista is a better actor than The Rock. That's my unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I don't think The Rock
And this,
can be a better actor than Batista. I don't think he's capable of it. But I do
no, he's
think
not.
he is capable of getting a little more credit as an actor if he's willing to kind of, you know, try something a little different. And I think like Beta Ray Bill is the guy, especially because look at how huge Chris Hemsworth is. It's like you've got to have a really big guy to be Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, I don't even know if they're even gonna do Beta Ray Bill in this new Thor movie because I mean, this is supposed to be the final one in the MCU.
And see, there's the next thing too, because Chris is tired. He doesn't want to do it. He's going to give him one last movie.
Yeah.
And he does the movie, and they're like, "Hey, we can't talk you into staying. No, you can't talk me into staying." Well, what if you were going to start with The Rock? And Hollywood being Hollywood, and like people being their thought about their career and whatnot. It's like I think that like that's how you lure him to the table for one more go. Because you're like, well,
Yeah.
if you stay, you get to, go toe to toe with The Rock. Like you get to slug it out and all that stuff. And it's like you can maybe lure him in just one more fucking time.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens from now until like what I'd say 2 years, maybe. See what happens from there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just, like I said, I want that pendulum to swing the other way. Like I'm
Yeah.
tired of this bland entertainment. It's like, come on, guys, the comic books have been going strong for 80 years. How are you screwing it up after 8 years?
I'll tell you why. DEI.
And it's silly, and it's
That's
just like, and again, you and me, we're all in favor of diversity characters and stuff like that. We love them. We know their importance, but we're just
Yeah.
like we like other stuff too.
Yeah,
We
because
like
even
other stuff too.
I'm kind of like, look, I'm all for having like diverse characters and stuff like that. I'm all for that, but race swapping a character ain't it. Shoehorning a character in ain't it. Gender swapping a character ain't it. That's just pandering to the fucking max.
And it worked for a while, every once in a while, but it's like enough is enough, man. We're craving something different. We want something different. We want, and I've said before, I would wish they would go back to like the late 80s, early 90s, when they would just make a litany of characters. And like most of them failed and you never saw them again. But a couple of them kind of made it out. And
Yeah,
like, just don't be afraid to make a bad character. Who gives a crap if you never see him again?
yeah.
I mean, the Condiment King, how many, they still make action figures of the Condiment King. Like
Hell, the Condiment King is damn near in every Lego DC game. So what are we talking about here?
and so it's like, did they even manage to work him into, I thought they worked him into Justice League, didn't they?
I
Or
think
like,
so. Yeah.
I
I
thought
can't
like somebody got taken over and,
became the Condiment King. Yeah, it was some weird shit like that. It was fucking retarded, but it was funny. Yeah. What?
they
Nah,
can just
I
make
thought,
some bad characters. Go for it.
yeah. What the hell? That was weird. Said, it said I had to get, I don't know. Whatever. I thought there was some weird shit happening in the background, but I mean, so that's pretty much all the news I fucking got for today. I mean, hopefully I'll have some more news by next Saturday, do another show, freaking talk about it, all that crazy shit. But we'll see what kind of fuck shit goes on this next week with comic books and comic books, anime, and all that other good shit.
Yeah, well, right on, man. It's been fun.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. You already know I like having you on the show, bro. You always add more. Yeah, you're pretty much the yin to my yang, all that type of shit. Nah, I'm kidding, dude. I'm just fucking with you. But nah, man, it's always good to get a different perspective on shit, man. So yeah, again, like I said, I always appreciate you joining up on the stream, dude. Again, you always add an interesting perspective to shit.
I appreciate you having me, man. I always have a blast.
Yeah, of course, man. That being said, I'm gonna get the hell up out of here because right now I got a cat right now that's trying to play with my hand, and then I have a fucking puppy right now that is using me as a goddamn pillow. And then right now I got another person using me as a damn pillow. So yeah, with that said, I gotta take care of all this shit right now over here. So yeah, that being said, man, take care, Johnny. Do it again. And to everybody, thank you. Whoever's watching, thank you for watching. And we're gonna do this again next Saturday. Till next time, peace.